trainer. That was our last time we talked about that. If you got someone that is looking to increase the capacity of your lungs, head on over to o2trainer.com and see if that is something that you personally are interested in. Now, we're talking about the Apple, back into Apple world. iOS 7 is going to offer AirPlay in the car. That's right, iOS 7 Beta 3, finding and patent point to Apple's growing vehicular ambitions. That's right, the iOS in-car maybe one day take over the entire dashboard, but for right now, Apple's iOS in-car comes packed with certain features, the beta version, and hidden in iOS 7 beta settings, and is a new patent that puts its mobile operating system firmly in the driver's seat. Now, Apple Insider reported that a pair of automotive-related doings that offer a peek at where Apple may be headed with iOS forthcoming iOS in-car feature, the iOS 7 in-car features that they've been coming out with. They talked about that at WWDC. The first report deals with the just-released iOS 7 Beta 3, which features hidden accessory developer settings, a trio of new toggle switches offering connectivity via USB, Wi-Fi, as well as AirPlay support. Now, the third setting, IAP over Wi-Fi, appears to offer the ability to wirelessly beam music, maps, Siri, and other content to the dashboard. And even when an iPhone is nestled inside the owner's pocket or bag or something like that, doesn't have to be visible. Now, a separate report describes the new patent awarded to Apple today for the touchscreen display that would offer drivers tactile feedback while keeping their eyes on the road ahead. They got that U.S. patent. It covers programmable tactile touchscreen displays and man-machine interfaces for improved vehicle instrumentation and telematics, a fancy name for a touchscreen interface that replaces traditional knobs, sliders, switches, stuff like that. Now, first filed more than 20 years ago by a Canadian inventor, the multi-touch patent now awarded to Apple specifically adapts the technology for automobile dashboards and communications with mobile phones. So Apple showed off a comparatively modest version of the iOS in the car features during that the annual WWDC, like we said last month. But this latest patent filing provides a glimpse at where they may be planning to steer the technology in the months to come. So if you're thinking that Apple is all about just the iPhone, the iPad, carrying it anywhere and stuff like that, nope. Apple is saying that they are trying to get inside the dashboards as well. And according to a lot of the major companies like Jaguar, like Mercedes, like BMW, those high-end cars, they have said to be in talks with Apple to develop an in-car navigation Apple system to where maybe it'll be Siri in the cars, Siri, where do I go? Or Siri, and Devin is shaking his head over there. So what do you think about this? First of all, what do you think about having the ability to talk to your car when you get in, settings, whatnot, and then what Apple, the move, they're working with these major car companies to bring Siri into the dashboard.
I won't be buying those cars. That's crazy. Don't they see? They're going down a dead end road. That's what's going to happen with that navigation system.
They're going down that dead end path, huh? And they're like, with their especially with Apple's maps, that thing is not accurate at all. So, and they didn't even get to buy Waze, the company that they were in. I think Google eventually scooped them up. So, Apple just doesn't have any well, maybe they're going to improve the accuracy of their maps, But for right now, their in-car technology, Apple is now starting to focus on. And so we might see when, your car is Bluetooth tethered to your cell phone or your iWatch, the iWatch smartwatch coming out, and you go, Siri, turn on my car. Boom. Car is on in the winter. No more, having to go out in the snow to turn your car on. You're freezing. You're still in your pajamas, and you're trying to turn it on to warm up. No more of that. You can probably say, Siri, turn on my car.
Here's the problem. Siri, turn on my car. Oops, not turning on. Here's a problem. Who can fix it? Apple? No. Who's going to fix it?
Right.
I don't know. The next car over, Android. Hey, what's up? Turn on my car. Boom. Gone. I mean, you're locked in. I mean, I don't get it.
Who's going to fix it? Apple. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. That's the world. I mean, I don't know if they're going to have such partnerships. So you have to, because you're not going to be able to take this thing to Firestone and say, well, my Apple dashboard navigation system isn't working. You're going to have to go back to BMW or Jag or whatever. You're going to have to go there because that's where the Apple technicians are going to be. Google strikes me as they're going to open up their platforms to the Firestones and so they know.
Here's the problem. I'll be able to start my car from Australia because I'm with Google. I'm with Samsung or Android.
Right.
You can only start your car, the Apple car, with some, I don't know.
From wherever Apple designates.
Yes, wherever they designate, and they're going to charge you every time you turn it on. It's like charge per turn.
Right. And then, if you want to get the app update, it's going to cost you $500.
It's going to cost you $500.
You know what I'm saying? To get the update because it's a premium update. But, but this is where technology is going now to where, can you imagine that? I used to live in Nebraska in the winter, and I'm telling you, when it gets down to the minus category, you have to start your car before you get going because it's just too cold to just start and then drive off. So you have to go outside in the cold, move the mountains of snow off your car before you can get in. This way, all you have to say is, if you can say, hey, Google now, turn on my car, or Siri, car turns on, turn on the heater, 80 degrees, whatever. So then it starts melting, turn on the defrost. All that snow starts melting. So when you get out now, it's just a simple wipe away, your car is warm, you're ready to go. This is definitely...
That's like last year. Mine is turn on my car tomorrow morning at 6:30.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you don't even have to say anymore.
No.
And you set all your your temperature dial, everything, and then it turns it on whenever you. Oh yeah, that's definitely what we're looking for.
A couple of posters. Did you hear that guy say coffee the other morning before he sang? That, I didn't even need my cup of coffee this morning.
Right. Put on that poster.
Said, oh my goodness. But that's a new thing now.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Everything is going to be digital. Everything is going to be electronic. And speaking of new things, we were talking about a couple of days ago about this headphones that charges your device. The solar powered headphones. And I remember you asking the specific question: why can't someone just come out with a solar charger? And I was saying, hopefully, these headphones would parlay into something like that because the standalone solar chargers for like your iPhone or anything like that, those things weren't necessary. To get a good one, it was expensive. You tried to get a budget one and they just really didn't work very well. Well, Kickstarter has heard Devon's request, and coming up after the break, we're going to talk about it because the Soul Power promises to charge your mobile devices while walking, and this thing isn't a headphone. It's just something that like an armband you put around your arm. And if you needed convincing that we're headed into a future where wearable tech is no longer future, but actually here. You're wearing Google Glass, you're wearing smart watches, all of those things, because remember, a lot of these things, especially smartwatches, they're trying to get the battery life to a point that makes it practical. Right now, the Sony smartwatch 2, I think, gives you about 2 to 3 days on a single charge, which isn't bad, for a wearable device or something like that. But imagine being able to carry a small solar charger power pack that you can put with your wearable device that keeps it charged and going all day. And you don't have to charge it at night, because the next day you plug it right into this portable power supply that's not even intrusive. This is what the Soul Power promises, and it is a new Kickstarter campaign. So you can head on over to Kickstarter and check this thing out. But we're going to talk about this right here coming up after the break. The Soul Power portable charger that will solar power, that will charge your smart mobile device on the go. Because mobile computing is not just here, but here to stay. All of this and more on Tech Pulse. Tech Pulse. Tech Pulse. On Tech Pulse. I don't know what happened. Okay.